How to buy tax deeds in Georgia. Georgia is not just the peach state, this is a profit state. There is so much money to be made in this particular state. Again, I'm going to talk about this. Those of you who see my other videos, every market has a uniqueness. In this video, I'm going to show you how to capitalize on not only the bidding process, but the profit process. How would you like to learn how to buy a $250,000 property for $50,000 and then get a rebate for 40 of it? Yes, you can do that. And in this video, I'm going to walk you step by step on exactly how to do that in the great state of Georgia. Okay, so let's talk about Georgia. Listen, if you love the video, thumbs up, all that good stuff. If you have any specific questions on this, ask me a question. Okay, it's me answering. I don't have, Sky the AI, I actually do these things, although that's not a bad idea. But anyways, for right now, it's me. Okay, so comment on this. So let's talk about Georgia. Georgia, phenomenal state, just north of Florida. Okay, they've got just so many counties in there. They got these little tiny counties. I don't know how Georgia fits so many in there. There's over 100 counties there. But okay, so let's just talk about how it works. First of all, it's a tax deed state. So when you first glimpse at it, it looks like a tax lien, but smells like a tax deed. Okay, what do I mean by that? So in Georgia, remember, you've got to be delinquent 4 years before somebody can take your property to a tax deed sale. In Georgia, it is a tax deed state. Okay, like I just said, looks and tastes like a tax lien, but it acts like a tax deed. So it's a tax deed state. What I mean by that is they wait 3 years to sell. Well, wait a second. I thought you said you couldn't buy a property in a tax deed sale unless they've been delinquent 4 years. Contraire. In Georgia, they say, we're going to sell it in 3, but you have to wait 1 year to foreclose. So what the county's done is kind of taken the work off their hands. Other places that offer tax deed with immediate ownership, they literally have to have a foreclosure department. Georgia just has to have a county that says, we want our money. It's been 3 years. They sell the property. You have to wait 1 year for the redemption before you can start what they call the abatement or the foreclosure. So you start the foreclosure process. The beautiful thing is, if they redeem in the first year, I don't care if it's the day after the auction, 6 months after the auction, or the 363rd day, it's a 20% penalty. Once it goes past the 1 year mark, okay, on the 365th day, it's a 30% penalty. They add another 10% on that. That's when you can start the foreclosure. So what Georgia is doing is they're saying, we're going to sell the property in 3 years. Nobody can do anything until the 3rd year is over, and then we're on to 4 years. Now you can foreclose on the property, which takes approximately 3 months at that point. Okay, so if you're buying a deed in Georgia, plan on hanging on to it, okay, for the full year on this. Why? Because there's less likely they're going to redeem. Let's talk about this. If the opening bid is $10,000 and it goes to the sale, let's say it's a $300,000 property, opening bid is $10,000, and they didn't redeem. Obviously, it went to sale. And let's say I bid it up to $50,000. Well, if they weren't going to pay $10,000 in taxes, what makes you think they're going to pay $50,000 plus a 20% penalty? So in order to protect that property after that auction, during that 1 year redemption period, the homeowner would have to, somebody would have to come in and pay $60,000 in taxes when just yesterday they only owed $10,000. Okay, so the likelihood of being redeemed, as I've said in other videos, is slim and none, and Slim just left town. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, but it can happen. So you've got to wait that 1 year. But here's the beautiful part about it. That $40,000 over the 10, remember the $10,000 opening bid, is what they call excess funds. The former property owner gets this. Why am I rubbing their hands? I don't get it. Well, let's use that example. What I can do is I can call up the property owner, get a hold of them somehow. Here's the rub. You got to be able to get a hold of them. Okay, there's all sorts of motivation. The county hasn't been able to get a hold of them for 3 years. What makes you think you are? Well, you've got a little more incentive, and I'm going to give it to you right now. So what if I do talk to Joe? Joe's the property owner. I say, hey, Joe, are you going to redeem on this property? He says, no way. I couldn't do 10. I can't do 60. Okay, how about if we do this? How about if you sign all rights over to the property in a quitclaim, okay? I'll take over the property right now. That way I don't have to foreclose. I'll take care of your taxes and I'll help you get this overage over there so we can help you out. I'll give you $10,000 cash right now. You sign over the property to me. I'll process the paperwork for the overage and pay you that money and everybody wins. Dead silence is because I just dropped the mic. That is a huge strategy in Georgia. So in a sense, I've just foregone the 1-year redemption period. Now, why? Because I said, sign the property over to me. I'll pay the taxes. Well, who are you gonna pay the taxes? You already have. You don't have to pay them to anybody. The only thing is there's $40,000 in excess funds. Now they can sign them over to you and you can give them a portion of that, or you can just give them cash and then you can get the rest of it. It's up to you. And everybody says, oh, can you do that? Well, yeah, they can do anything you want as long as you both agree to it. Here, sign everything up. Well, why wouldn't they just go get the money? I don't know. Why didn't they just pay their taxes? I mean, there's all sorts of what ifs. What I'm trying to tell you is a strategy that I have nailed in Georgia and has made me a ton of money. An example would be, I got a property that was worth approximately, say, $200,000. Opening bid on the property was $7,000. We paid $27,000 for the property. That's $20,000 in overage. Okay, there was 2 sisters, I think, and a brother. Anyways, it was their parents' house that they had died. They didn't know what to do with the property. Okay, this whole redemption there, we're not going to redeem on this thing. We didn't want the property in the first place. I said, okay, you sign the property over to me and I'll give you $10,000 cash right now, but I get all the excess funds. They're like, well, looked about it, they talked about it. Wait a second. For us to get the excess funds, we'd have to fill out the paperwork. It'd be 6 months. Yeah, or you get $10,000 cash. Give us the cash. We'll sign the property. We basically forfeit the foreclosure process because they've already signed the property over to us. See, when you're foreclosing on a property, if I've got a willing participant on the other side, it makes it a lot easier. They sign the property over to you. With a foreclosure, I've got to go to a judge, they've got to go through a process, and they sign the property over to me because I don't have a cooperating property on the other side. I've eliminated so much right there. Okay, now, is it always going to work out that way? No. Boo-hoo. I got a property for $27,000 that's worth $200,000. If they do redeem, I get $27,000 plus 20% penalty right off the bat. I've bought properties in, is that right? I've bought properties in Georgia for $80,000. 5 months later, they redeemed, and they gave me my $80,000 plus $16,000 in 5 months. Didn't matter what happened to the price of oil. Didn't matter who got elected president. Didn't matter, any of that BS that they try to confuse us with. Okay, I get 20% of my money. I knew they were going to redeem because they were remodeling the property. I couldn't figure out why they had let it go to that point anyways, but who cares? At that point, they had to pay $80,000 plus a 20% penalty, which was a total of $96,000 or $16,000 in my pocket. So even if you lose in that situation, I made $16,000 in 5 months, okay, on a deal that redeemed. That's the bad case scenario. Boo-hoo. Could you imagine it yourself at a Christmas party? Somebody saying, how'd you do this year? You said, oh, it sucked. I only got 20% of my money. Yeah, I didn't even have to deal with the property, okay? The other side of it is, the big thing is getting a hold of the property owner. So once I go to a sale and once I bought that property, now the Snoop Doggy Dog gets in there, okay? Now I've got to play detective or Sherlock Holmes. I've got to find out who that person is. And I've had people say, well, wait, that's going to be difficult because, the property owner wasn't, or the county couldn't find the property owner. Well, they're not trying real hard. All they have to do is prove that they tried to. I've got, in that scenario, literally 40,000 reasons to get a hold of this property owner. So I can Facebook them, I can do a reverse search on their phone numbers, I can put what I call a sticker strategy on the window to get the neighbors to call me. Because if you want to know what your kids are doing, ask your neighbors, they'll tell you. Okay, so talking to the neighbors, there's all sorts of little things that I've created over the years to get a hold of the property owner. Because listen, I don't want to foreclose on the property if they're going to redeem. Let's just take care of it right now. If they're not going to redeem, let's just take care of it right now. Either or, they win, I win, the county wins, everybody wins. So as you can see, this is what we call a triple win. The county wins, you win, the investor wins. No, this is a quadruple win because the property owner wins also. There are so many steps that we can talk about Georgia alone. Here's the good news for you. You ready? Okay, I've got a brand new course on this. It's going to walk you step by step. I know I've got a confined amount of time right now, but if you want to level up, if you want to provide financial independence for you and your family, take advantage of the free, you said that, you heard that, right? I said it, you heard it, free course. Just go to higginsmethod.com. Click on the link there. I've got a free course that I'll send out to you. That's my gift for you for just getting started, okay? This is Saen Higgins saying good luck and God bless.